I was dying so often that became one of the most important things to get, just so that I wasn't broke all the time. Because, and then when you start the game over, it's even worse. You start a new game plus, and you go walking down the beach where there were all these level 1 zombies before, and 3 of them come at you, and suddenly it's a boss fight. Every 2 steps, it's like this epic encounter where you're trying to get out your best weapons and back up and use a bunch of tactics just to kill 2 or 3 trash mobs coming down the street. And it kind of puts the side quest thing, it kind of paints it in a weird light, because the only reason to do side quests is to get more experience so that you could level up. But the fact that all the enemies level up with you means that the more side quests you do, the harder the game gets.
Kevin said something about how he was online and everyone was the black guy with the giant blunt instrument, right?
It's true.
Guys, I'm really a little concerned. Don't laugh, but what does it say about me that I immediately picked the Asian chick?
That you like Asian chicks? I don't know.
No, I wanted to play as the Asian chick.
Well, it could have been the fact that the Asian chick is like prominently featured in almost all of the promotional stuff for the game and seems to be like the main character. I mean, this wasn't like some little Freudian thing that was coming to surface here. No, it's definitely a Freudian thing.
It's one of those things like racing games, right? When you play online and everybody has like the best car, and when you're racing around and you're driving like the Dodge Neon or something, and you're like, okay, I got the wrong car, because everybody's just laughing at you. It's the same thing here. The black guy is apparently the best guy to play in the game in terms of how difficult it is. I mean, I played as him, and I'm not finding it very difficult as I level up, but I have not put any of my skill stats into anything other than all of the defensive ones, like regeneration and, all that stuff, because it's like your weapons will break more often. First of all, Amanda actually said this on Facebook. You don't need to have the tired out meter where you get like winded and the weapons breaking down. I got a steel pipe in my hand. I could beat people's heads in all day with that thing. It's not gonna break unless I run into the guy with like the steel plate in his head, maybe. I mean, it's never gonna happen. I'm just banging on guys, and it's like you fight like 3 people and your weapon's like done. It's like, no, come on, no, it's not.
Yeah, that is really.
Are we allowed to poke holes in it? Because I've got a few things as well.
Oh, yeah, of course, but that's really annoying because the weapons, they deteriorate like as bad as the weapons in System Shock 2. It's like everything is made out of balsa wood. It's like, I've got this awesome meat cleaver. Oh, it's actually a stage prop.
Yes, it's awful, man, and that becomes one of the more difficult things to progress too, because you constantly find other things to look at to pick up. And you can enhance them and stuff. And then, like, I don't know, people just hand you the dumbest things, too. They're like, here's a hammer and stuff. And it's like, do you not see that I got a flaming baseball bat in my hand right now? Like, what am I going to do with that?
Well, okay, let's go ahead and unleash our rabid little Brit on this game who's got a lot to say.
Okay, I've just got one that kind of pissed me off, is that the characters, like, you said, Jason, that you have these little outposts with survivors in them. And I think you said earlier about how these survivors are struggling to survive. No, they're fucking not. I'm the one who's struggling to survive because I'm being their fucking shopping boy. Like, hey, listen, we need some juice and we need some canned food. Could you go find some? It's like, why don't you come with me? If it's not that difficult, then just come with me and give me a hand,
Yeah. And let's go, because I'm not going out there and putting my ass on the line to get your fucking cigarettes.
It's not even that bad. It's once you hit once you hit Paris Hilton and she wants you to bring her booze, it's just like, woman, are you not aware of the zombie apocalypse that's occurring right now?
Like, yes, I don't need a hammer. Okay, I'm fine. How about you, do something helpful? Like, everyone just gang up together and just, march to the nearest, radio station or something, instead of just getting food and cigarettes.
Right, like that one girl wants water, and you give her 5 bottles of water, and she's like, I'm so thirsty. It's like, look, you got a swimming pool worth of water right here. I just gave you a ton of water. Go make a bath or something. I don't know what to tell you. It's like they constantly want to just have you run these pointless quests. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind if they were doing something.
Go get her teddy bear.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they were doing something. If everyone was chipping in, doing something practical, like, I don't know, like fixing the radio station or fixing the car or something, but most of them, the majority of the time, are just sitting on their asses bitching about, their situation while you're doing all the work.
Man, this zombie apocalypse is lame. Can you go get me some more cigarettes, man? I smoked all the ones you brought before. Shit.
Yeah, bunch of fucking hipsters hanging out in the lighthouse. It was better when it was Left 4 Dead. But no, that's totally true. Nick, it's on the money, because some of these are just like, I don't know. I was into it because I was just really enjoying the game. But if you step back and think, wait, what the fuck am I doing? I'm storming this bungalow full of zombies to rescue a teddy bear because she can't sleep without her teddy bear. It's like, oh, you shouldn't sleep anyway. You know why? Because you're gonna fucking die.
You know what their excuse is that listen, you're immune to this. You can't turn into a zombie if you get bit. Look, they'd eat me, okay? It doesn't matter if I'm immune or not, you fucking idiots. You know?
You can still get ripped apart.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, is that you've got to be careful in this game, because shit can turn on you in a second. I mean, you can be riding high with all of your weapons maxed out and everything, full health, and then you don't realize that the body you stepped over is starting to groan, and it's on your ass, and then you hear, and they just swarm you. And they don't all run like Left 4 Dead, but maybe one of them is like a level 7 thug, because they're different types. If you're like level 5 or whatever, and all of a sudden you're down in seconds, like Jeff was saying earlier. I mean, it can turn on a dime, and suddenly you're just screwed.
By about halfway through the game, I felt like a real asshole, because I was just walking down the street, and everybody, I had felt the need to kick it. It was just like, hey, you a zombie? No? You got any money? Cool.
I will say, on a positive note about this game, there's like virtually no load times, and even when you die, you come back like right away. Like whatever game engine, whoever wrote this, like they did the smart thing with it, because I mean, I am never sitting there like frustrated by having to wait for something to like happen, like the load or to go to. Yeah. It really is a smooth transition, and there is an autosave. I kind of wish I could save at points, because sometimes I'm not sure, like if I'm quitting out, like where I'm at, like in terms of checkpoints and stuff.
That happened to be the first day I played it. I was so paranoid that I was going to lose my gameplay that I played, and then I ended up playing for like another hour and a half, just so I could figure out if I'd hit a checkpoint or not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a little tough, because I died at one point, and then it started me off in the damn jungle, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that happens all the time. It's like there's the radius between checkpoints, and if you just cross this invisible line, you die, and suddenly when you respawn, you've never been there before. You've got no idea where you are. You're just like, what? Who? Where?
Yeah. It's like you're up, or it'll spawn you, and you are right in the middle of like some zombie cocktail party. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's got its problems. Yeah, there's pacing, there's a lack of story. The weird respawn things. Most of the glitches that I read about, I didn't encounter, because I started playing it after the patch came out. But aside from that, I thought it was a hell of a lot of fun. I really liked the game, and
the physics I think is good. I was about to say, like when you're breaking zombies' legs and arms, I thought that was quite unique. In the way in comparison to other zombie games.
Targeting the body parts and stuff like that.
Yeah. I like that too.
The island is gorgeous. It's just very lush and detailed.
I don't know if it's just me, but I like the idea of the zombies like pretending to be dead, or zombies like eating people, like just doing their thing. I haven't seen that often, because like in Left 4 Dead, I think they're too busy like just charging at you for really to be worrying about their snack and stuff. So.
I think that there were a few times where I saw a zombie like leaning down on the ground eating a body, and I ran over and I kicked him, and I was like, yeah, zombie, get off that poor corpse. And then as soon as I kill him, the corpse he was eating turns out to be another zombie that stands up and tries to kill me. And it was just like, whoa, don't you zombies have any ethics, man?
Right. Well, that's one of the things, is that one of your kind of backup attacks is the kick.
Oh,
and
how often do you use that button?
Me and my dainty little Asian chick, we were kicking the shit out of people with our heels. I mean, it was, because your heels don't break, but your weapons do. So it's like, once a zombie's down, if he doesn't have any friends around, it's like American History X, and I'm giving that fucker a curb job.
Yeah, the game should be called Stomp instead of Dead Island.
Right? I'm just sitting there kicking and kicking and kicking until they die.
What's better though, with at least I played the same character, is that in the middle, the middle kind of attack tree, you get a couple of abilities where if they're down on the ground and they're not moving, you can basically walk up and just plant your heel in their face and just twist it. You can see like turning her foot just to make sure that they're dead, which you upgrade later on to basically just jumping up in the air and with both feet just pounding the shit out of the zombie's head. It just goes like a melon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. That's awesome.
So, I mean, all in all, it sounds like we all, pretty much liked the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I liked it. I mean, I didn't love it, I'll say. But, I don't mind playing it, but I don't think that the story gripped me enough to care about these characters. I know it's kind of hypocritical of me because I really enjoyed Resistance 3, and that hardly has any story at all. But I don't know, like the gameplay wasn't as incredible to me as it could have been for the potential it had.
Well, what do you say? I mean, would you give it a full price?
I wouldn't give it a full price. I'd give it like a bargain bin. Like, if it's dropped down in price, then yeah, I would recommend to get it then. Because you have, 40 hours of gameplay, and it is fun, I imagine, to do co-op missions with a mate or something. But to me, I don't think it's really worth a full price.
So like it's a low buy.
Yeah, a low buy. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Jason?
I would say there's a lot of replay value here. It's fun. It's surprisingly robust. There's some just a lot of cool moments in it and a lot you can do. I would say full price.
Kevin?
Yeah, full price. I found it fun. I find it. I'll probably go as soon as we're done. I'm going to go back and start playing it again, which I almost never do with most games. I'm like, oh, the review's over, on to the next game. But in this case, I'm really having a good time with it. I'm going to keep progressing through it, and hopefully I can get through. Although your level 20 thing where I have to fight guys like it's Thunderdome every 2 steps, I'm not so sure about.
Well,
so.
it's weird because what happens is, I mean, you end up with weapons where when a zombie is rushing you, if you have your I use the bladed weapon. So if you have your bladed weapon just right and you just hit the attack button and that zombie's head just comes clean off. On the other hand, if you mess that up, or there are 2 of them, or they're behind you, you could just suddenly get killed. And you're like, what happened? So it's like, as you become more and more deadly, so do the zombies. And normally it's a sort of gameplay mechanic that really turns me off of a game, but this game is such a guilty pleasure. I just love killing zombies so much that no matter how frustrated I got, when you whack a zombie's head off and it goes flying into oblivion, that's just so satisfying. And that in and of itself is enough for me to give it a full price. But I tell you what, the one thing that Dead Island taught me that I didn't know before is that Red Bull heals all wounds. I mean, yesterday I was riding my dirt bike and I totally wiped out. I drank 16 Red Bulls, and as soon as my heart started again, I was fine.
Yeah, Red Bull is everywhere, able to heal you. I just wish that every now and then they would give you a Four Loko, which would make you crazy and give you superpowers like the PCP of energy drinks.
I'm surprised you didn't have any side quests to get some Red Bull back, because that was the most helpful thing in the game.
Things that go bump in the night. Me, Sam B. Shrunken head, broken legs, body parts on the concrete. Cut 'em up, butcher style gators in the swamp. Red light, leave 'em dead, running like a track meet. Scared of nobody, what your motherfuckers want. Believe me when I tell 'em I'm a boogeyman beast. Leave 'em slashed from their head to their feet. Pin bricks to the chest of a bitch, well fed, cooking meat, cannibal trying to eat.